Breakfast with Cobb Colvin.
Trickstar Radio.
Right, 37 minutes past 9 here, Trickstar Radio. That one, Mez from Young. We're getting to the business end of this conversation now, and I'm sort of chomping at the bit a little bit to get into this one. So, we're coming off the derby yesterday, United Liverpool. Now we're both United fans, which makes it. I don't know how to feel about it, if I'm completely honest. Like, what were your thoughts on the game yesterday?
Right, first off, they played us off the park. They was more energetic. They had more going forward. I don't know how it wasn't more than 1-0.
Yeah.
Going into the second half, I feel like we actually done well. Martial, I don't even want to talk about that miss. I don't know what he was doing. I feel if he would have scored that, we probably would have won the game. Matic had a good game. Fred done all right. Look, I don't think it was the result that we're really annoyed about. Let's be honest.
No, I
think it's about the whole season. I think it's the last 7 years.
I think more than anything, this is almost like the sort of difference, the sort of gap in ability, and the fact that it was only 2-0 almost actually amplifies the fact that we have been riding luck for the last sort of 7 years.
We could have won the game, and I was thinking about this last night when I was on the way home. If Liverpool wasn't top of the league and they were just about to win their first Premier League in 30 years.
Yeah.
So if this was Chelsea or City, I don't think we'd be that upset.
No, I don't think we would.
I don't think there'd be so much panic about this season. I think it's just because Liverpool are about to win their league, our biggest rivals. They're going to go, how many titles now? Is it 18?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, going to be one behind us.
Yeah.
I think that's what all the panic's about.
I think that also as well the fact it's still a moderately young team. It's not like it's there's a team there with players that still have 3 or 4. The players that are in their prime, they still have 2-3 years left in their prime.
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Sorry.
And Klopp signed a 4-year
deal.
So it looks like they could dominate.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of scared of. It looks like Pep's going to be going. So the main challenge in City is sort of going to. It's not going to dissipate. They're going to keep buying players, but I don't think they're going to struggle to sort of keep up.
It's going to be. Look, I think Liverpool are going to turn into what we did in the early 90s. To be honest, I think
it's terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah, like bro, We've been lucky as United fans. I don't know how long I know you've been probably supporting them a long time.
Yeah, so I think the first time I ever actually did anything to do with football was when I was 3 or 4, and that was watching a United game. I think it was. So that's my earliest.
We've been lucky to see trebles. Like we won 3 leagues in a row. No, I think we've got to bite the bullet at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, listen, we're in for a long ride.
Yeah.
A long ride. I don't remember before Sir Alex Ferguson was here, but obviously Ron Atkinson.
Yeah.
And we weren't in a good place.
No, I think you see the terrifying thing about it is that football is now an industry. It's not the industry it was before Fergie came in. Almost Fergie played a massive part in turning it into the industry it now is, with all the sort of sponsorship deals, MUTV, or at least Fergie and the team around him, David Gill and everyone in the sort of board at the time. And because of that, we're now in a position where it is a machine, it is an industry. He pretty much revitalised, I don't want to say revitalised the youth system, because I have a real issue with United's youth system in general. I have a major issue with it. I don't think it's anywhere near as good as people claim it to be.
How long do you feel like it hasn't been that good for?
I don't think... Well, there's only been 6 players that I would class as successful players to come out of the academy since the class of 93.
Who would you say?
I'd say Wes Brown. I'd say John O'Shea, Darren Fletcher, Paul Pogba, Rashford to an extent, and Rossi.
Giuseppe Rossi, yeah.
But apart from that, you're scratching at the surface with Welbeck, with Evans, with Cleverley. Like
Evans, we shouldn't have got rid of him. Cleverley, we slaughtered. Like
United fans
the other day.
I'm one of the people that did slaughter him.
I liked Cleverley, but obviously his last season with Moyes obviously didn't go well. Welbeck,
but my point of it is this: for people to be saying, "Oh, we should 100% be focusing on the youth aspect," there's no actual reason.
It's a nostalgia thing, isn't it? They want to recreate the class of '92. That's what it is.
And because of that, you're now in a position where they're using it as a way to ward off the idea of making big money signings, because we've got these youth players, they're ready.
I think where it is, we're scared to make big money signings now. Di Maria flopped. Pogba, look what's happened to him. And I think we're trying to do what Liverpool have done. I think we're trying to copy Liverpool, get these like, you know how they got, what's his name, the left back, was it Robinson or whatever?
Robertson, yeah.
Yeah, and getting players from Hull, whatever, he come from Hull, didn't he? And I think we're trying to go that way.
Yeah.
I think we're trying to say, look, we don't need to get big money signings no more, because Di Maria he didn't even want to come in the first place.
Yeah.
Look at Pogba. So I understand why they're doing that.
You see, but again, I think it comes down to this conveyor belt sort of scenario. I think, and we were saying it off air a second ago, I think whenever United bring a big player in, a big player goes. And there's a constant rotation of it. They brought in who'd they bring in this summer? They brought in Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, and they're the two big signings. James, I'm not classing James as a big signing. It's a squad filling signing. They brought in two big signings. To do it, they sold Lukaku, which pretty much paid for Maguire, which means there's only a sort of, I don't know what AWB was. I think he was like 50, 60.
50, yeah,
around that. So there's only a 65 million net spend. If you take the wage bill out of Herrera, a couple. I think Darmian left. Obviously, the wage bill for Sanchez has been halved. Smalling's wage bill's currently gone because he's at thingy. They've basically balanced the books. That's all they've done. They haven't actually improved the squad in any way, shape, or form. And for me, it's terrifying because it means it puts big players off. Pogba coming in. It was a good thing. Pogba and Ibrahimovic coming in. What they needed to do the following season was to make 2 or 3 more big money signings.
100%, yeah. Like I say, Pogba. I thought Pogba will go on to back to Juventus or Real Madrid and be a world class player. I just thought we haven't got the players around him for him to do the job.
So you can't blame him for wanting to leave. You know what I mean? I'm there like, well, I wouldn't want to stay in that scenario. Not when he's a World Cup winner, played a vital part in the World Cup. And I'm just like if he wants to leave, he must see that it's not likely to change anytime soon.
We should have let him go. Look, to be honest,
he should have gone last summer.
I like Pogba as a player and as a person, but I feel like the way he's acted for our club, I don't really agree with it, to be honest. I'm one of these people that want him out. I just want him to. I think it's a club's fault. I don't know why we let him stay. He wanted to go into summer, we should have let him go. So I do feel it's like Ollie's and Edward's fault for even this scenario.
Do you know what I think it might be? Clickbait. That's pretty much what the United's entire model is based on now. It's based on getting as much excitement up about something as possible and dragging it out as long as possible. This Bruno Fernandes deal is the perfect example of that. It could have been done in 3 days.
Why didn't we get him in the summer? Then why are we scratching around for him now?
And paying more for him. Exactly the same way we did with Maguire the year before.
I'll tell you what, he might not even work.
No.
It might not even work. I know he's ripping it up in Portugal, but it might not even work.
If it doesn't work, then you're just like, well, what's left to do? You know what I mean?
To be honest, why ain't anyone else in for him?
I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't. There was a point where I think Madrid were in for him at one point. But I can't. They brought. I can't remember who they brought in. They were in. Madrid were in for
the summer.
Yeah, I think they brought someone in a similar sort of. I think I'm not entirely sure. Or they decided the thing they had all going on already was like all right for it. To be honest, like I'm looking at the entire layout of it, and it's just frustrating more than anything else as a United fan.
I was going to say to you. So like, obviously Fergie left. Do you feel like our appointments have been right?
In what is in the players?
No, the managers.
The managers. I had no issue with Moyes.
I wanted him to get a job.
I had no issue with Moyes. The reason I had no issue with him because he was on a 5-year contract. They didn't back him in the transfer window. They basically gave him an aging squad who were going to be on a year off because Fergie's leaving. That season there was going to be dreadful regardless of what happened. But because of that, you then didn't back him. They didn't back him at all. They gave him one signing in Fellaini, who became like the sort of the definition of this.
And he didn't want him. He was actually winning Fabregas, didn't he?
Yeah, he wanted Herrera as well. He wanted Herrera.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, Van Gaal got Herrera in the end, didn't he?
The following season.
Yeah.
So there's this constant theme at United of wanting players. Or say, for instance, when Jose was in, he said we need defenders. They sack him the following season.
I wouldn't
have
signed Boateng though. To be fair, we should have backed him, but we should.
That season, they didn't put a bid in. They didn't put a bid in. They didn't, apart from the Boateng bid, they didn't put a bid in for a single defender. No, they didn't table a bid for a single defender.
Right.
So when you look at it, you go, why would you then do it for Ollie when you've got a winner? Jose is a winner. You know what I mean? Like, and he's coming to the end of his winning sort of scenario now. But when you're in that position, I don't understand why you like.
That's the season we finished second, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I know it was about 12, 13 points behind City, wherever it was, or even more. But
it's closer than it is this season. You know what I mean? Like, and then you look at it and go, like, I don't understand why you. He said there's an issue here. There clearly is an issue here because there's been a defensive issue at United since Vidic and Ferdinand left, and they were never replaced. Same with Evra, never actually replaced. It took us like 10 years to properly replace Gary Neville in Wan-Bissaka. So we are literally in a position where they will drag stuff out as long as possible, do whatever they can to not spend, and by not spending, make the profit that clickbait brings through advertising. That's literally what their game is at the minute.
What do you think is going to happen then?
What I think is going to happen, I think we'll be a mid-table team within 2 years, like a genuine Everton sort of style side.
Finishing 8th.
Yeah, 8th. No, and it'd be a bonus for us to finish in the top 7. How Liverpool were 10 years ago. Like how Liverpool were like 15 years ago.
Yeah, we are going to go back to those days. We can see it. Ollie, do you think he's the right man?
No, to be honest. I backed him, but then when you start The reason is he's not the right man because he's not challenging. He's not challenging what the board is saying.
If you get Pochettino in, he's not going to do anything with his squad either.
I agree.
What the problem is.
I agree. The squad is nowhere. I've been saying this for 2 years. The squad is nowhere near good enough, and no one could. The fact that Jose finished second with this squad up or down a couple of players is an absolute miracle.
Remember, he said that was his biggest achievement.
Yeah.
In
People laughed at him.
I know,
it's a fact. And then when you sort of combine that with the fact that Ollie is not a capable manager, but the squad he has got is not great. If he comes out and says we need to make players, I will respect him for it. We need to sign players.
He's not going to say that, he won't, because obviously it's his job, innit? And he feels like Woodward and that have given him a chance, so he's going to be loyal to them. Like Fergie as well, he never come out and said one bad thing about them.
But he always got backed. Even though there was this going on to begin with, he always still had a first-class team in the works. There was always, because he started with a first-class team and players came in and out when the Glazers took over. There was never a period under Fergie where the squad really wasn't worthy of challenging.
All right, cool. We get rid of Ollie. Who do you want in? For me, you need to give Ollie another year.
Yeah, I'm not going to say. I mean, I have said Ollie out a couple of times. But
I know you said it last night.
Yeah, I said it last night. But I do think I don't think he is the man for the job. I think you have to give him a year purely for credit reasoning. You know what I mean?
Listen, you give him next season.
Yeah.
And then look, if we don't finish top 4 next season, then he's had a fair crack.
I think there are a lot of scenarios in the current setup where he has had opportunities to be good managerially. You know what I mean?
Give me an example then.
An example, I think. Well, the Rashford situation is an example of that. Bringing him on against Wolves, I think that's just such an amateur error. The fact that Rashford's been playing through a back injury and
but we've got no one else to play.
That's when you come out and say.
We all know that Ollie thinks we need to sign more players. So I don't feel like he needs to come out and say it because we know he thinks that anyway.
I think it applies pressure. And I think
applies pressure to his job.
Yeah,
and Poch is weighted different.
It is a tough one. I think when you look at I think there's multiple times when he's waited till like the 80th minute to make subs. There's multiple times he's rotated.
Yesterday he could have made the sub a bit earlier.
There's multiple times he's rotated players at the wrong points. Like Matta's been on great form. What does he do? He removes Matta from the starting lineup. It could have made a difference. And I don't even like Matta. There's just multiple times where I feel he's just made basic sort of.
I think he should have started yesterday, to be honest.
Yeah,
Matta.
And I don't even like Matta. That's the thing. I think Matta's way past it. But yeah, who would you get? Do you know what my dream sort of man for the job at the minute would be? Brendan Rodgers. I genuinely think he is.
That's not going to happen.
It'll never happen. He's on the most cushy deal possible. Leicester is a dream Premier League job. I think it is genuinely a dream Premier League job. Your expectations are quite low. You've got a good board. You've got supporters that will stick by the players, and the squad's good. I think it's a dream job.
I'll tell you what. Before we had a sniff that Ollie was going to come in, I really wanted Pochettino, but now I don't know if I would go for him. I don't think he's capable. He hasn't won anything at Tottenham.
No,
he hasn't. I don't know who I would go for.
It is genuinely a mystery.
I don't know who I would go for.
It is genuinely a mystery at this point, isn't it? It's difficult to work it out. We're going to jump into another tune just so we don't overrun. We're going to make sure we got some music on the way. Argue is in the building. We're talking about United, and we're going to finish up in just a second. Keep it locked. We're live on the Big Bad Trickstar Radio.
Waking up Brighton.
Breakfast with Cobb Colvu.